My name is Nia. I'm 26 years old, and I was born in a small town in West Africa. Life there was never easy. My family was poor. We lived in a small, cracked house with broken windows and no hot water. At night, I could hear my mother weep in silence, thinking we were asleep. But I always heard her. I used to stare at photos of New York City on my old phone. Tall buildings, shiny cars, women with styled hair and heels clicking on sidewalks. It all looked like freedom. I wanted that life. I wanted soft beds, pretty clothes, cold drinks in clean glasses. I wanted the world to look at me like I belonged, and I didn't care how I got it. I started thinking about a green card. I heard stories, women who married American men and got to stay. I wasn't looking for love. I wanted papers. I told myself, don't feel guilty, this is just a step. I believed it. I wasn't ashamed. I was ready. I made a fake dating profile, said I was a teacher who loved books and cooking. All lies. I uploaded some carefully filtered photos. Within 2 days I had dozens of messages, but most were too young, too broke, too flashy. I needed someone older, someone kind, someone lonely. Then I saw him. His name was Thomas. He was 39, lived in Texas, worked at an insurance office, owned a small house. No wife, no kids. In his photo, he wore a plain shirt and had a quiet smile. He looked gentle. That was what I wanted, a man who didn't ask too many questions. I sent him a message. Hi Thomas, you look kind. I like your smile. He replied quickly, Hi Nia, thank you. You're very beautiful. And that was the beginning. We started talking every day, mornings and evenings. He liked my stories, my pretend dreams. I told him I was simple, that I believed in love, that I wanted to build a life with someone sweet. 2 weeks in, he said, I feel something for you. I smiled at the screen. Me too, I lied. A month later, he said, I think I love you. That was perfect. I said it back. Thomas sent me money for my visa. He bought my plane ticket. I packed a new dress, a small bag, and told my mother I was going to America. Do you love this man? She asked. He's kind, I answered, but I didn't care if he was kind. I just wanted out. When I landed at the airport in Texas, Thomas was there holding a sign with my name. He wore clean jeans and held a bouquet of flowers. You look even more beautiful, he said. I smiled, hugged him, but not with my heart. My smile was part of the plan. His house was small, neat, cozy. He made tea, showed me where the plates were, and told me about his job. I nodded, pretended to listen, mentally checking off the comforts I now had: hot water, soft bed, a quiet home, a cheap white dress I bought online. He cried a little during the vows. I looked at the clock. After the wedding, Thomas helped me apply for my green card. We took photos, filled out forms, went to interviews. In front of the officer, I called him my love and kissed his cheek. He believed every word. At home, he made me dinner, gave me small gifts, asked about my day. I want to help you study, he said once. I want you to have a future. He didn't know the truth. I didn't want a future with him. I just wanted a future here. I started staying out late, made new friends, stopped cooking, stopped pretending. When he asked, where were you? I said, with friends. I lied right to his face. Thomas never yelled, he just looked tired. One day I met someone at the gym, Jake. He was young, confident, full of life. I told him I was single. He didn't ask for details. We started meeting often. He was nothing like Thomas, loud, reckless, exciting. That week, my green card arrived in the mail. Thomas handed me the envelope with a proud smile. It's here, he said. I opened it slowly. Approved. I wanted to scream in joy. Instead, I smiled. Thank you, Thomas, I said. We did it, love, he said. That night he cooked a special dinner: chicken, mashed potatoes, candles, soft music. We're a real family now, he whispered. Yes, I said, smiling, but inside, I felt nothing. The next day, I went to work at a salon. I washed hair, swept floors. I told my co-workers I was single. No one knew about Thomas. That evening, I went out with Jake. We drank, laughed, kissed under city lights. I told him I lived with a roommate. He never asked more. When I got home, Thomas was asleep on the couch, a blanket over him, TV still playing. His face looked peaceful. I watched him for a moment. I felt nothing. 2 days later, I packed my bags. Thomas was at work. I left the wedding ring on the kitchen table. I didn't write a note. I didn't say goodbye. I moved in with a co-worker, rented her spare room with money I'd saved. I blocked Thomas's number. I didn't want to hear him cry. I didn't want to explain. He had served his purpose. I changed my name at the salon to Nia Carter, his last name. It sounded more American. I told people I was divorced. Sometimes I saw men smile at me and say, "I like a woman who's been through things." I smiled back. I liked the attention. One afternoon, as I was leaving work, I saw Thomas standing outside. He held a brown paper bag. Maybe food, maybe something else. He saw me but didn't smile. I walked past him, said nothing. That night, I got a message. I just want to know why. I read it, then I deleted it. Weeks passed. The dinners, the way he lit candles, the way he looked at me when I said, "I love you," even though it was a lie. I opened a drawer and pulled out my green card. I stared at it, wondering if it was worth it. I had freedom, I had space, but I was completely alone. One day I went to the park. It was sunny, children played, a man taught his son how to ride a bike, a woman read under a tree. I sat on a bench and watched. Then I went home and wrote everything down, the lies, the smiles, the silence. I didn't cry, I just wrote. For the first time I told the truth, to myself. I kept working, I saved money, I bought a small dining table, but the other chair was always empty. Sometimes I thought about reaching out to Thomas, just to say sorry, just to let him know he wasn't invisible. But I didn't. I was afraid. Not of him, but of what he might say, of what I might feel. One night I dreamed about him. We were in his kitchen again. He was cooking. He smiled at me and said, "I knew you didn't love me, but I loved you anyway." I woke up crying. I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were tired. I was no longer the young girl who came to America full of plans. I had made choices, some wise, some cruel. Maybe one day I will love someone for real. Maybe I'll let someone love me back. But for now, I will sit at this window, drink my tea, and try again tomorrow, because even if the dream was built on lies, maybe the life that comes after can still be real.